Man, something about to go down. Okay, so what's up? What's up? I'm having some technical difficulties. I'm not even sure uh how that has happened. I'm gonna shut down real quick. I don't know what's going on. It's a trip. Anyway, TRESHO9, in the bay. Yeah, anyway. TRESHO9, what? In the bay. Yeah, what? Anyway. TRESHO9, what? uh. It's Saturday. I'm just fooling around, just chilling. Nothing major. Just chilling. I thought I would bring people into my flow status of how I DJ. But that's not going to happen on this channel. That's going to happen on Mixcloud because everybody else is like, no, you can't play music. So they're trying to build a loop right now, trying to catch it. Talking and trying to find the loop is like impossible. Let me see if I can do it. Nope, I missed it. It's all good. All right, here we go. Let's see if that's right. Oh, I don't like that one. So then I lock this one over here. I go to the next one. Let's see if I can find it on this one. This will probably be an extended version. 5, 6, 7, 8. See how it just stopped like that? I'm telling you, something's wrong with this. and then you lock it here. Pop, lock and drop it. What? TRESHO9 on the ones and the twos on the mix cloud. I don't know what is going on here, Doug. It's a trip. I've never seen this before. There we go. Hey, what you know about that, Monica? What you know about that? You don't know nothing about that. Anyway, welcome to TRESHO9. This is Saturday. It's the weekend, and TRESHO9 happens on Saturdays. It happens on Sundays, and sometimes it happens on Thursdays. This Thursday it didn't happen. I apologize, but it's all good though. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about like how to like. I'm all over the place. My goodness, I'm really trying to figure out why this is all wacky, but I don't think I'm going to. So, whatever. So I've been, in a relationship for quite some time now, and pretty much I've been in not a lot of relationships, but I've been in a few. This one obviously is the longest I've ever been in 13 years, and I credit it to communication. Our first year of marriage was crazy and really a learning period. Now, if I could do it over again, or if I was talking to my children and giving them advice or giving them some nuggets or some guidance or some tools they can use if they wanted to, I would not do it that way. I will train my children, boys and girls, how to be, if they wanted to, a husband and a wife. I honestly don't. I'm really concerned with, is that happening today? Has it been even happening? I know growing up in the church, growing up in religion, you get a sense of direction. You get a guideline on how to do stuff, and you get really good things that are principles that you can use if you use them. Like a hammer is great, and if you had all the hammers in the world and all the screws and the screwdrivers and the Phillips heads and all the tools on the wood and lumber that you needed, but you didn't ever pick it up to actually build a house, it really is not going to get built by itself. You dig? And I had to realize that. And so the first year of the marriage, of my relationship, communication was something that didn't exist. And if it did, well, I thought it did. I thought I was, I thought I was communicating. I wasn't. And my lack of communication and my silence and my indecisiveness, that's not communication. Me talking about my day and where I'm going to go, that's part of it. But what am I communicating? What as a man, what am I saying? That sounds tight. You hear that record in the background on this track? But what am I saying? I'm saying I don't know what to do. Nobody has actually taught me, being in the church, and you would think, you would think that you would think I would know how to communicate. And I did learn. I learned a lot because I learned how to public speak in the church. That's one thing that a lot of people don't. They don't know how to do, or they don't have to practice. And I got tons of practice because I was thrown in the mix. I used to be a pastor, used to be a director of a youth that was at Jubilee. And that was a great experience because I had every Sunday had to prepare 2 lessons, if you will, or we had 2 services. And then I had to organize and coordinate, music and all that other stuff. And it was an experience that One day I wasn't doing it, and the next day I was doing it. uh, and leading people is what I learned also. Leading people and being able to communicate to them to get the vision, right? So without vision, people will perish. If you didn't know where you were going, you wouldn't make it because you wouldn't know the destination. If let's say you didn't know how to get to Los Angeles at all, let's say you did not know, and the only way you can do it is through GPS, right? You would have to use that. You would have to actually use that. You would have to actually put that into practice and navigate through that. And a lot of times as men, we don't necessarily have that step by step because it's not always going to be a step by step. But I will tell you this though, get a mentor and that mentor will speed the process up. The mentor will speed the process up. They won't do everything for you. They really won't do anything for you. They will speed the process up. So they are what I call the light bearer. So the light bearer is like a counselor or a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever. They can only shine the light on the area where they think that you should go because of experience and because of stats and because of just studies. But then it's your decision to say, yes, I want to go that way. Or you're going to say, no, I don't want to go that way. They can go, okay, well, what about over here? Here's another avenue. And if you never want to choose that, you're not going nowhere. Well, I had to, after a year, I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice. And this is why I credit it to being with this same person I've been with and falling more and more and more in love with this person. And it has nothing to do with time. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. That doesn't make any sense. It has a percentage to do with time, but let's say I didn't do the things that I did and I'm now at 13, would time matter? No, because it was a whole year that I was we were both completely non-communicative or we didn't know how to communicate, but it was up to me to guide and to lead the way, to be clear, right? To guide the situation, guide the relationship. I do believe that, this fool, somebody trying to call me right now, bro. In my live, man, come on. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. What was I saying? Shoot. I don't like that. I need to turn airplane mode on or something. Anyway. I believe that the person in the relationship, I'm a traditionalist in some sense. And I'm also, traditionally, I think that when I'm speaking of a Americanized or even a worldly sense of, man and a woman. I don't have the experience of anything else. And so I do believe that a man should be able to lead and guide his relationship and his family. I do believe that you have to know something. That is your skill. That is somewhat of what you are bringing to the table. I think that it's important because we think differently. That's what I've learned. So in this communication, I didn't know in the first year, I didn't know how to communicate. Like, hey, babe, you are communicating different than I am, and I'm communicating different. I didn't necessarily know how to convey that. And so it just was, it was just whack. You know? But I got a book, and I also got the tenacity. I didn't want to be like any other guy. I started to look and started to even in school, even in college, even in psychology, and then listening to people and counseling people and going to outpatient programs, spending months sleeping there, living there for a night or 2 nights or whatever, dealing with the homeless people for a few years actually. And dealing with in the church, counseling marriages and stuff like that, you're just like, dude, you have to want to do this. You have to really want to come out of where you're at. And it's not the whole happy wife, happy life, happy wife, happy life. If you hear a woman or man say that, I'm telling you right now, run from them. It's not happy wife, happy life. That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So you're going to negate your own happiness? You're going to forget about your own happiness. What do they say in the airplane before it goes down? Put your face mask on, put that oxygen mask on first, then go help somebody. How are you going to help somebody if you ain't got no oxygen? Come on now, players. Come on now, you guys. Water, the best thing ever. So communication, how I had to learn about myself. So I had to start communicating to myself. And I was sitting at the red light, getting ready to turn left onto Kylie off of Stevens Creek. And I was kind of like, the state of mind I was in was I was tired. I was coming home from work, I believe, and maybe I was a little bit stressed out or something, or maybe I was just, just kind of zoned out. Who knows, right? But I'm sitting at the red light, and the red light seemed to take a lot longer than usual. And I realized something. I had an epiphany at that moment. This was about, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Somewhere around there. It doesn't really matter. I thought to myself, oh, snap, I don't love myself. Oh, wow. I don't love myself. I said, I thought I did. I'm over here walking around like I do. It looks like it from the outside, but nobody actually can see what's really going on. So it was something that I had to check myself. I said, well, let's start there. In all relationships, in this particular relationship that I'm currently in, let's start there. Business, let's start there. Let's start with loving myself. Let's start with loving myself. Let's start right there. Now, so the first thing was, how am I speaking to myself? How am I communicating to me? Do I understand myself? How am I speaking to myself? Is it pleasant? Is it loving? Is it true? Not just gassing up. Not this whole like, I'm a king. Okay. Let's get real, everybody. You're not a king or a queen. How? How are you? It's impossible legally, physically, emotionally, mentally. How can you be a king and a queen? That's something that is given to you. Who gave it to you? So, those are cool things to gas yourself up and to get you motivated. You dig? To get you motivated to get up and do something and be something, whatever that might be, whatever that is. Okay. But for me, that wasn't going to work because I needed something that was true and tangible. I needed something that was alive, something that was real. Not this, I'm a king, I'm a this, I'm a this, I'm a da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't. And so here's another thing. When you hear this, when you hear this right here, sorry. When I hear these words, fake it till you make it. If somebody gave me that advice, okay, let's just say my best friend or my brother or my mother or anybody that's close to me, anyone who thinks, and I think that they love me and have my best interest, if they ever say to me, hey, Mark, just fake it till you make it, I will no longer take advice from that person. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Why? Why? Because I've learned that, and I don't want to fake anything. I came from fake. I'm coming from fake, and I'm coming out of that wilderness into the light. I don't want fake. Come on now. So anything to do with fakeness, I'm not really, I don't want fakeness. And so it's not fake it till you make it. So what I had to do is I had to act real until I remembered who I was. Then I could fall in love with that person. Then I fall in love with that person. I don't want to fall in love with the person who goes and is, I don't want to fall in love with the person that's a sheep. It's a sheep herder. It's a sheep. Yes, it's a sheep. What do? I herd sheep. I don't want to be, if I were to just apply, going back to the roots and going back to how I was brought up, as far as I was raised, like some cattle and some sheep in Christendom, in Catholicism and in religion, right? And Jesusism and Christianity, all that. If I just use that, if I just took that back then, if I just took that and I'm thinking, okay, so I'm a Christian, what does that mean? Okay, that means that I'm Christ-like, so then I look at Christ, am I acting the same way? Again, here we go, act real until you remember, so then I remember, okay, I'm actually his brother. Oh, then, I've been adopted, so that's my dad, so then I need to act accordingly. Not this act fake it till you make it. That don't work. You need to act real until you remember. That's the best thing here for this. Please don't take that, because they're like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Who are you talking? You don't know now. You just sitting in your house. You know what I'm saying? You just sitting in your apartment talking with a cheap glass of water. You know what I'm saying? With a $2 shirt. And come on, man, be quiet. Exactly. Just don't listen to me. I'm telling you right now. But the way I govern my life and the standards that I have, if you came up to me, if you came up to me that, Mark, you got to fake it till you make it, that conversation's over. It's done. I may still be standing there, but I've checked out, because I don't adhere. I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. I have certain pillars and standards in my life because I need those things. Those things are the foundation. The foundation. If an inspector came from the city and inspected my rebar in my life, if you will, I want him to, or her, I want them to sign off on that. And I had to first learn. So going back to communication again, I had to first learn, how am I communicating with myself? How am I communicating with myself? Shout out to Optimus Prime. Shocktimus Prime, sorry, Optimus Prime. Shocktimus Prime. And I had to be able, and that's partly why I started this podcast, because it's scary. I'm not really talking to anybody, and yet there, people will watch it, people will judge it. But how do you, when you learn how to communicate to yourself in the proper way, when other people communicate to you improperly, you will have a strategy to combat that. You will listen to them and go, huh, who are you? How do you know that? Like I'm interested. I take full curiosity in people that have said things to me, and they're like, oh, you're this person, you're that person. I'm like, oh, I am fascinated. Because how did you get there? How did you do that? Where were you? Where were you in there? Where were you when I was struggling? Well, you didn't reach out. Well, do I have to? There's people I text and I call, you know what I'm saying, and they don't reach out to me, but I know they're going through it, because that's the gift that I have. I already know. If I were to use my gift, and now I'm ranting now. Shoot, I forgot my topic. It's all good. If I were to use my gift on every single person that I know, I'm gonna kick myself in the butt here in terms of motivating myself. I would be rich. I would be filthy rich. Maybe that's what I'm doing right now, because I would be calling people and texting people constantly, letting them know, encouraging them, giving them the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I had to do. I had to come to the truth because when I was at the light, I did not love myself. I did not love it became obvious to me. It became obvious to me. It became, I was faking it. So then, because people would say, fake it, oh God, fake it, you make it, fake it, you make it. And I actually listened to that. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it brought me to a point, to the point of, I don't really need that logic because it doesn't make sense. What makes sense is to act real until you remember. So the next year of marriage, was a difficult one because we had on our 1 year anniversary, we had our first daughter born and died in the same day, and had our anniversary all in the same day, all within a span of accumulation of 2 days. No, more. I'm tripping. I think it was a week, maybe 2 weeks. Tamara was in the hospital, and the baby was gonna come out at 20 weeks, and then they can wait 21, 22 weeks to resuscitate, meaning that the baby comes out dead, if you will, or non-breathing, heart not moving, and then at 22 they resuscitate and get it going, the heart and everything, get everything warmed up and everything like that. And that sight alone, I'm trying to tell you right now, this is where it kicked in, because I went up, but then I went really, 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 really down at that point. Because for the first time in my life, it's kind of, I'm going to be all over the place. Paint your own picture. But so, anniversary, daughter born, 9 hours, daughter passes away. And at that moment, I had this feeling of, go ahead, God, go ahead and take my life. I will exchange my life for her. Easily. Easily. I've never, I would have it was almost suicidal. It dang near was suicidal. Because I was like, I don't want to feel this pain. Like, I don't want to feel it. I want it to go away. And it feels like if someone had taken my heart, I need something to grab or something, so I can explain, but someone just took my heart and then just squeezed it and twisted it and put some nails in it and threw some barbed wire and then stretched it out. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. And then I couldn't breathe. This part right here, I couldn't breathe and I couldn't swallow. So I was like, part of me was like, oh, this is good because maybe I'll just die. You dig? Maybe I'll just go away. And I had to get to a point. I had to allow myself to rise up in that moment and begin a new life. And then it was this, how do I function? Because how do I say this, man? It was so fuzzy. But basically, I had to think, how do I continue this marriage? Because I made a decision in that second year to continue to be married, continue to be with this person. Because I thought, right? This is the thought at the time, and it still stands. I thought to myself, if I can get through this, and we can get through this, bruh, come on now. This is church. We having church now. I done went way off my script. I don't even know my notes. I went off script here. But if we can get through this, we can get through anything. If we can get through this, we can get through it. Bruh. Come on now. Come on now. And that's been the case. We've gotten through it all. We had our ups and our downs, craziness, and we've gotten through it all. Can't nobody stop us. Nobody. Not a cute face and a big butt. Can't even stop us. Nope. Nothing. Money? No. Well, it doesn't even matter. And so from that point on, I had to adjust. I had a strategy to adjust. I didn't, I was pretty low, and I had to adjust because I had to get to a point where I just decided I'm going to be with this person. And honestly, to be honest, in that second year, it wasn't even about love. It really wasn't. So my belief on love and marriage and all of that stuff, it's really different. It's really different. I don't even necessarily believe, where you have a religion, if you have a belief system, you should believe in that God, right? But to believe in marriage, to believe in love is something that I don't necessarily know. I would believe in charity. I would stand on charity because those are things that you can tangibly do. You can do these things on earth. And if you're thinking about the Bible, if you're thinking about that word love is actually charity. Love didn't exist that way in the translations when you look and you study that word just from the Bible. If you study the Bible and then the Strong's, it translates to charity. Charity. What does charity mean? Charity is an act. It's love in action. It's love in action. So love without the action, I don't have the strategy of that's not love to me. It just where, how? Somebody help me. Help me. Can somebody tell me? Because I haven't, it doesn't love, it's Lena, right? We have a saying here at TRESHO9. This is even before TRESHO9, but Lena, love and action. And it started with concerts and stuff like that, but we ended up doing some homeless stuff, which was so amazing. My kids got involved and it was pretty cool. We did that in of all places, Windmill Park. All the rich people were chilling in their homes, having their parties. Anyway, yeah. So I'm done. I'm out. Communication. So it really is, just to be clear, it's really with yourself first. It's with yourself. That communication, and now I can then convey the things that I have come up with and do lovely. I can give her this, all my thoughts and on who I am. I can become vulnerable. I can become open and give this to her. I can share this with her, right? Because I now know what the heck is going on. You kidding me? Woo! Gia, and you don't stop. So I had to be able to formulate, and I had to be able to communicate with myself and understand who I am at a really, really fast rate in order to convey what I needed to convey. And it took a very long time. It did. It took a very, very long time. And we're still getting through it. We're still building and still creating and still loving. We're still kind and pleasant, and we enjoy doing things with and for each other. We love pleasing each other, giving each other pleasure. We enjoy that. It feels good. It's amazing. And we're acting real until we remember. That is what you want to do. You really want to act real until you remember. You know, yeah. You dig? So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna mix. I feel like I feel like I'm throwing songs together, but I'm gonna jump into the mix. It's gonna be on Mixcloud, because they allow me to, because I pay for it, but they allow me to play mixes without taking me down and doing this and that. So the live is pretty dope. Yeah. So I'm gonna go jump over there. Peace out. What's up, Richard? Shout out to Shockman. Shout out to my wife, Tamara. Shout out to Black Sand Project at Black Sand Project. On the ground. What is going on with me? Before I got on this live, I was sneezing. Every time I do that, it messes with my trut. It messes with my trut. You know what I'm saying? Boop, boop, boop. Shout out to my children. Shout out to Freedom. TRESHO9. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to jump on that Mixcloud right about now. Right about now. Check it out now. Funk Soul, but I got this new toy. So I'm on StreamYard, and I got the full access, and I got the full access on Mixcloud. And I'm still trying to figure it out. Still trying to, like, how do I do this? Like, oh, okay. Let me see what happens.